Hi guys, today I'm going to do a little podcast to help to introduce you to the skill of summarization. We're going to work on this in greater detail throughout the year, so do not get concerned and nervous if you don't fully understand it. For homework tonight, you're going to have to write a summary on the short story Marionettes Inc. I haven't given you much instruction on how to write a summary in class. So I'm going to ask you to listen to this and then try to write the summary on your own. Before we can actually talk about what a summary entails, let's talk about three different types of writing or skills that a teacher might ask you to engage in. One is paraphrasing, right here, okay? One is summarizing, which you see here, and one is to write a critique. It's really important to know the differences of the three of these types of activities so you will be able to engage in them correctly. Paraphrasing is one of the easiest things to do when looking at these three ideas. Basically, when you're paraphrasing, you are asked to restate the same information that you have read differently. Okay? So, when you are paraphrasing, you will see that the length of your writing will be the same as the original piece. Okay? And you are just going to use your own words to rewrite something. Summarizing is a little bit different. This is where, as you are reading, you need to identify the main ideas. After you will take all those main ideas and organize them into some type of paragraph. Okay? There are no opinions in a summary. Okay, you are just giving the facts. You're probably writing in a more reported kind of speech, so that means you're just kind of explaining what is happening. A summary should be shorter than the original piece of writing. And this is the skill that you're going to work on now. You're doing it for a story, Marionettes Inc. So you will have to identify the main ideas and the essential points and the elements of the story before you write the summary. Don't fret, because that's exactly what you did in class. You identified the main idea of each page or every other page so that you could go home to write the summary. A critique. A critique is something that's a little bit different. A critique is more higher order, it takes more thinking, and it's more like the analysis of a paragraph. This is because you will evaluate what you have read. You will explore the different themes and issues and provide your own thoughts, commentary, and opinions on the ideas and themes. This is where you will provide new perspective, and you are more than willing to share things from the world, from your experiences, and connect it to what you have read. A richer critique will connect more to the world and to your opinions than one that is not as rich. Okay? So, let's go. Now that we've talked about what paraphrasing is, what summarizing is, and what a critique is, let's really dig deeper into summarizing. You will get this sheet, okay? It should look familiar to you because I handed it out to you today in class. What I want you to do now, before you hand in your summary and before you even write it, is I really want you to read all of this, okay? I want you to read what it says about a summary. I want you to read why we're doing a summary and the reason why it's because it's an important reading comprehension strategy that you will use today, you will use tomorrow, you will use in English class, you will use in science, you will use in humanities, you will use it all throughout your schooling career and even when you get a job, okay? So, It's very important for us to learn how to summarize effectively. And this is the process. What you see in this box right here is the process for summarizing information. Okay? And as you can see, I have separated it into steps. While reading, before writing, as you write, and after writing. Okay? So, while reading, this is what you did in class today with a partner. Okay? You identified the main idea, okay, of each page. Remember? Then you, in your identification of the main idea, you were able to talk about or to answer what important things did the writer say about this? What are the major events and conflicts in the story? What is the point of the story? You were able to do this because you identified the main idea of each page. What you want to do before you start to write is you want to check to make sure you understood the main idea and important elements. How are you going to do that? Just go through each page, look at the main idea, and orally retell the story to yourself. If at any time you feel like, I don't know what's going on, or I don't get this, go back and reread that page to try to answer your questions. If you still have questions, ask an adult. Ask your mom or dad, or come and see me the next day. Okay, so that's what you want to do before you actually start writing, okay, or planning to write. Before writing is really another way of saying planning, okay? So now that you have all the main ideas written down, you want to think about how you should group your ideas. You also want to look at all your main ideas and the information. Is there anything that you left out? Think about the story. Is there anything major that you left out? If so, note it down before you begin to write your summary so you don't forget. Also, look at all those main ideas. Is there anything that you included that's repetitive or unimportant? If so, make sure you do not put it in your summary. It is not needed. Remember, a summary only includes the main ideas or essential points and elements of whatever you are reading. Now, after you've done that, which is your planning, you are ready to write. And so, organize your ideas and just begin to write. Make sure that you start off with a topic sentence and you end with a conclusion sentence. When you are writing a summary about a story, try to go in sequential order because that will make sense and is the flow of the story. However, I encourage you to introduce the main characters from the beginning of the story to the end of the story right away. Give a brief little synopsis of who they are and talk about the major problem of the story first, okay? So start off by talking about, in Marionette's Ink, start off by introducing Brailing 1 and Brailing 2, okay? Start off by introducing the wives, okay? And really talk about them and who they are right away. So then, and after that, talk about the major problem of the story. And then you can go in and talk about the minor events. Does that make sense? If not, please come and see me the next day before you write your summary. I'll be happy to help. Once you are done writing the summary, you are not done. Don't just hit print. Don't just close your notebook, okay? Please make sure that you revise and edit. Revising entails the first 3 questions. Is there anything that is not clear? Have I said something more than once? Is something major missing? If you can't do this by yourself, please, please, please ask mom and dad to read it. Okay? And let them be your critical friends. Don't roll your eyes when they give you suggestions. Just hear them out. If you disagree with them, you don't have to change your work. But having another set of eyes look at your work is always helpful. Afterwards, edit your work. Look at this last sentence. How is my spelling, capitalization, and sentence structure? See if there are missing words. See if there are short, choppy sentences. Or see if there are sentences that go on for too long. Try to fix that. Check your spelling. Make sure the things that you want to capitalize are capitalized correctly. And if you use transition words, make sure you put a comma after that word. Okay? So good luck. Do the best you can. And remember that a summary is something that you do where you identify all the main ideas, okay? And you organize them into some type of paragraph. Remember that a summary includes no opinions and should not be as long as the original piece of writing. Since you're writing a summary about Marionettes Inc., start off by introducing the main characters and the major problem first. Good luck. I look forward to reading your summaries. Thank you. Have a good evening.